Awesome. So welcome, folks. So we are here with Olivia from Rainbow Riders. So Olivia is going to share with us today some opportunities that are available with Rainbow Riders and how you can get involved and volunteer. So if any folks have any questions as we go along here today, please feel free to put them in the chat or the Q&A section. And I'm sure Olivia will be happy to address those at the end. But for now, Olivia, welcome, and you may begin.
Thank you. This is great that we're able to do this virtually. It's awesome. Yeah, so I'm the volunteer coordinator here at Rainbow Riders. So I'm just going to tell you a bit about the volunteer opportunities and then let you know how you can contact me and get some more information. So Rainbow Riders has been in operation for over 20 years now. And we have a brand new facility that's been open for almost 3 years. So this semester, we're back on the go, thankfully, after all the COVID stuff. And we had to stop for a little while, but now we're back on the go. And we have a record number of participants this semester. We have 68 riders, which is amazing. So our need for volunteers has increased. So stuff like this is great. And you can see in this picture here, this is one of our therapy horses, Anna. And these are some of the benefits that the kids get from therapeutic riding, as well as just overall confidence boost and stress reduction, and it helps a lot of health conditions as well. Horses are just all around wonderful creatures to be around. And this is one of our therapy horses, Molly. She's one of our youngest therapy horses. She's only 7 years old. So she's great for some of our riders who ride more independently. And so a bit more in depth about some of our volunteer opportunities. So during a single riding lesson, we can have as many as 4 children in a group lesson. So for each kid to ride, it takes 1 person to lead the horse, 2 people to walk alongside the horse, and then the instructor. So the horse leader and the 2 sidewalkers are volunteers. So you can tell from those numbers that we need a good amount of volunteers in order for everyone to be able to ride. And then that's not even mentioning everything behind the scenes. We have 15 horses, so it takes a lot to keep them fed and happy and keep the stalls clean. So a few logistics about volunteering. You have to be over 14, but obviously that's not a problem for university students. And also our volunteers who are over 18 have to submit a code of conduct and a record check in order to help out with the program lessons. And there's the volunteer forms are available on our website, and I'll give you some more information about that at the end. So our volunteers help out with pretty much everything. There's lots of flexibility in our volunteer program. So some of our volunteers just help out with barn chores and looking after the horses. So we have 15 horses right now, but we can have 16. We just have 1 spare stall. So that takes a lot of work to keep the horses happy. So we need helpers 7 days a week. And right now we're running 3 volunteer shifts during the day. So we have a shift in the morning from around 8:30 a.m. until about 11:30. And those volunteers help us with taking the horses out to their paddocks and then cleaning their stalls. Sorry if you hear scratching, I've got the cats in here with me. And then cleaning the stalls and cleaning your buckets. And then we also have a shift in the afternoon from 3 to 5 p.m. So if you have classes during the morning and you can't get in until the afternoon, that's perfectly fine too. So those volunteers help us bring the horses inside from their paddocks. And they also help with just general tidying of the barn. Sometimes they might have to clean the outdoor paddocks. And then we also have an evening shift from 6 to 8 where those volunteers help us feed the horses in the evenings and tuck them in for the night. So if you're not really interested in helping out with the lessons, but you do want to be around the horses, then you can help out with barn chores. But if you're more interested in lessons, then there's a couple options there as well. So you could be a sidewalker. So we run training sessions a few times a year in order to learn more about sidewalking. So if you're interested in learning more about that, my email I'll tell you at the end, and you can just send me an email. And so the sidewalkers are the people who walk alongside the rider and give the rider varying levels of support depending on the rider's needs, and make sure that we give our sidewalkers a little rundown about the rider and the type of supports that they may need before the lesson begins. And we always match the rider's needs to the volunteer's level of experience as well. And we always want you to feel comfortable, so we never put you in a situation that you don't feel that you're equipped for. And then if you are a real horse person, then you can be one of our horse leaders. So each of our therapy horses needs someone to lead them during the lesson. Now, some of our riders do end up going off the lead, but the leader is the one who's responsible for helping get the horse ready for the lesson, all tacked up. So we do require those volunteers to have a bit of horse experience. However, we don't require our volunteers to have horse experience in order to be a sidewalker or to help with the barn chores. We can train you for all that. You just have to not be afraid of the horses. That's the only requirement. And some of our volunteers have been here for a few years now and have gained all of their horse experience here. So now they've moved up to being leaders. So there are lots of opportunities as well to progress in our volunteer program. So the next option is to be just kind of a general odd jobs type person. And our new facility is very big. Ashley, Claire, sorry, one sec. The cats need to stay in there.
Oh, sorry.
Claire is coming.
Oh, I'll go get them.
Okay, sorry about that. So we need help just around the barn, taking care of the grass and just doing general lawn maintenance and all that stuff. So if you're not really interested in helping with the horses or the lessons, but still want to be involved, then this is another option. And obviously, as we go into winter, we don't really want to think about snow clearing right now, but we do need a lot of help with snow clearing when that time comes around. So that's another way that you could help out. Yeah, so like I said at the beginning, if you need any additional information, this presentation, as well as more information, is on our website, which is www.rainbowridersnl.com. Or if you're really interested and want more the volunteer forms or the code of conduct, you can just send me a direct email. It's orrainbowridersnl@gmail.com. And Rainbow Riders is located pretty close to Munn, actually. We're just on 103 Mount Sile Road, which is kind of across from the Savory Farm and just a little ways down from the Munn Botanical Gardens. So once you get back to campus, it's a really great, just a really quick hop up the hill to get here. And it's a great place to go kind of after classes to de-stress, or between classes to kind of have a little break. And yeah, it's just a wonderful place to be. So I'm not sure if anybody typed anything, any questions there.
Yeah, so we do have 2 questions.
Perfect.
So first one says, "Hi Olivia, I've been super excited about your presentation all day. Just wondering if you've had people getting their volunteer hours for social work there. I assume it would be considered a human service related to social work."
Yes, definitely. We do have a lot of people who do that. I think Key-In is one of the schools that has that type of program, and we have a couple of our volunteers who are getting their hours right now for that. We also have some high school students who are doing the Duke of Ed program. So yeah, that definitely fits that. Yeah, those requirements for sure.
Wonderful. And then she also followed up and said, I've owned horses and I couldn't afford them when I moved for university, so I'll be sending my documents tomorrow as I don't have a printer. So expect those
Okay.
tomorrow.
Perfect. Awesome. And Angela, if you just, I found the Q&A here, so that's perfect. And Angela, if you just want to stop up by the facility too to drop them off, or because some people have the online document might be a little bit tricky. I'm not sure how fillable it is. So if you wanted to just send me an email, we can schedule a time for you to come drop by, and I can give you a little tour of the facility, and then I can give you like a hard copy of the forms. You can just fill them out right there if that works too. Yeah. So I can type my email in there again just so that but it's all, there's a volunteer page on our website too. So if you go on there, can I send, whoops. I
You
can't
might
send
have
it
to
to
type,
some.
yeah, you might have to type it up in the chat. What
Okay.
was the email? OR Rainbow Riders.
Yeah. Oh, I can just maybe go back one slide, one sec. I'll go back. There we go.
Oh, there we
Okay.
go.
I'll leave it up on that slide for a sec. The pictures are cuter, but this is the has the more. Yes, there we go.
Perfect. And in
Perfect.
terms of the best way to contact you folks about getting involved, would that be by your email or your website, or where would kind of be the most efficient way to get a hold of you folks?
Yeah, the email definitely. So since I'm a volunteer coordinator, if you just email me directly, that's the easiest way to get a hold of me. Yeah. And but if you go in through our website, my email is also listed under the volunteer page, so you can find it that way. And there's even more fun pictures and stuff to look at on our website. So it's a good spot to check it too.
Wonderful. Thank you, Olivia. And another question, what would be the general time commitment of getting involved with you folks?
Yeah, so it's very flexible. Some of our volunteers come and help out with one lesson a week. So the lessons are either half an hour or 45 minutes. So if you're a sidewalker and you only have a spare hour a week and you want to come for that time, then that's perfect to help out with one of the lessons. So anywhere from half an hour to up to like 3, 4 hours. We are I'm trying to like schedule the barn volunteers a bit more strictly now. Before we kind of had like a drop-in barn volunteer policy, but now with COVID, we kind of have to keep track of our numbers a bit more. So I've started a schedule for the barn volunteers, but for the lessons, there is a set schedule, and we do that's kind of a more a set time commitment. So we run 7-week semesters with a week off in between. So we usually do like an early fall semester and then a 1 week break, and then like a late fall semester and then early winter, late winter type thing all the way through the year. So for those 7 weeks, we do ask that you commit to your lesson time, because if you're like if you don't show up or cancel super last minute or anything, then it will be a bit of a scramble to find someone else so that the kid can ride. So we do really rely on those volunteers to be committed to their time every week, whereas the barn work is a little bit more flexible. If you do have to cancel last minute, then it's all good. Now, of course, if you know ahead of time that during the 7-week semester you're going to be like away for the long weekend one day, then we can work within the scheduling. But yeah, so it's very varied, however much you have time to give.
Wonderful. Thank you, Olivia. And someone mentioned that they tried contacting, but there was no response. So would it be best to get them to follow up by email?
Yes, definitely. Um, and I'm only working Tuesday through Fridays right now, so I don't check my email Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So if you do end up sending it like later on a Friday, I may not get to it unfortunately until Tuesday. Um, so yeah, just and at this time of the year it's super busy. So and I'm also trying to keep on. Some people comment through Facebook as well, but email is definitely the easiest and quickest way to get a hold of me. So I've just opened my email again for the day here. So hopefully, if your email's in there, you'll hear from me very, very shortly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Olivia, for being here today. So I will throw it out to folks to see if there are any other additional questions. But Olivia, is there any last minute information you'd like to throw out there before we end here today?
No, I think I've covered pretty much everything. I'm glad there was some questions, and we're so grateful for all of our volunteers and how dedicated they are to Rainbow. And um, we have volunteers from who are 14 all the way up to like in their 60s. So it's a good you'll meet a good group of people, and it's just a really lovely kind of uplifting place to be. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from some new volunteers.
Absolutely. And it looks like there is some interest here. So thank you so much again, Olivia, for being here today and for sharing this information. So
Yeah,
folks,
thank you.
of course, if you're interested in getting involved with Rainbow Riders, the email, it's there in the chat, orrainbowridersnl@gmail.com. So that's how you get a hold of Rainbow Riders if you're interested.